YouTube, it's Bella today, and today I'm finally getting around to doing Art Therapy issue 17 and issue 18 in the same review. Purely because last week I did Colour In review, which was a long review, looking at other magazines of adult colouring that you could get. So, issue 17, it's jungle themed, and it comes with 3 markers. The first brown in the collection, so there it is, and it comes with a deep rich purple and sort of a purpley pinky colour. So this is the magazine, came out last week, issue 17, and it's got a jungle theme, as I've said. So you've got the same sections as before, and you've got saddle brown, deep plum and orchard pink. In this one, more colouring, more parrots, cornflower blue, and the colouring section. So we've got some frogs and the letter J. Oh, it sounds like Sesame Street. I've started colouring the long grass because I think that's going to be awesome. Or the jungle foliage, however you want to describe them. We've got 2 tigers and bees. Toucans! Why has this toucan got a spotty nose? I do not know. And stripy nose toucan above. Another toucan, I think. Jungle pattern, the letter J for Jeremy, and next issue, Ancient Egypt. Okay, so this is Ancient Egypt. You get 3 colour pencils, and they are Art Therapy 193, Art Therapy 141, and Art Therapy 119, that's 119, 141, and 193. And it's Egyptian themed. And the colours are coral red, indigo blue and sunflower yellow. And pencil rubbing is the technique in this one. And fur and whiskers is the technique in that one. So, right back to primary colour basics. Mysteries of the Pharaohs. Indigo. It's brilliant is indigo because there is some debate saying that there should be 6 colours in a rainbow instead of 7, because indigo is an annoying colour. It's deep bluish purple, and people can actually sort of get confused by it because is it blue or is it purple? And actually it's indigo. It's in between the 2 colours. And here it is, and it actually looks quite black when you use it. And I'm actually going to colour something in. Shock horror. What shall I do? I'll do this little bit at the top, because that's what it looks like. It does look black, but it's not black. And it's not navy either. So what the hell is it? That's the question. What is indigo? And it's actually a type of purple. It's just dark bluey purple. Or indigo, which means from India. Anyway, never mind about flipping indigo. We could be there all day debating that. Onto the colouring. So we get this lovely thing where we're supposed to colour. See, it doesn't really come out as a blue at all. It comes out as this black, which is going to look awesome, I think, when the whole thing is coloured. And this is going to look really nice because I think you could use your gem colour things and highlight in there, and then do that, and then dark in there, like that, and then light in there, and then keep going round and so forth to really bring it out. Oh, mandala! I love mandalas. Last one was done over there. So I've got my octopus and my fairy, as I've shown in other videos. So we've got cats and typical Egypt symbols, so forth. Don't know what that is. Some flowers. And the quieter you are, the more you hear, which is a very true statement. I've completed this today. I used art therapy pencils and the markers. And I like using the markers because you cover more ground. I know that sounds really mean and horrible, but sometimes you just want to actually colour the thing. Okay, next issue is issue 19. And it looks like, ooh, create a wash with watercolour pencils. So we're getting watercolour pencils in issues 19, everybody. Stay awake. 3 new pencil shades to use with our gallery of bohemian designs. Awesome. Lemon yellow, relax your mind and body. Ooh. So the watercolour pencils are starting to come in. So that's going to be cool. And we've got pyramids as the colour by numbers in there. So that's issue 18 and issue 17 of the Art Therapy review. Just to let you know, I finally managed, I went on Amazon, good on Amazon, and got Tangela 9, because as you are aware or not aware, I got Tangela 1, which was basic, and I got Tangela 7, which is the mandalas, how you make these guys. And they're coming on really well. So this is Colour with Mixed Media book, which I wanted to get. So it's watercolour markers, watercolour pencils, watercolour paints, and so on and so forth in there. I'm not going to show you all of it because, hey, get your own in the politest way possible. But I've started on like doing some of the workbook. This was the one that I used the proper pen. That pen, the Mono 01 pen thing, but they take ages to colour in. So then I used this marker on, and that sped up the colouring process, but it also means that it leaks through, which is a tad annoying. And I've also used a black fine liner as well, but they have a tendency to leak. So as you can somewhat see, this is the monochrome. That's the actual pen that you're supposed to use. Then I've used the fine liner there. And I'm kind of like on that step there, so I've not coloured it in because I can. So yeah, I'm slowly working through them. See, look, it takes... Your first one is usually absolutely rubbish, though this one is actually turning out to be the best one. That's because I kind of was like, I wonder what this will do. And it's fine because these are practice ones. They're looking really nice, though. I really enjoyed doing those. I've not finished them yet. And then you've got shading with colour. So you've got some really good examples of how it works. I've done some of my own drawings as well with Tangela and stuff. So this is using a wash, and then you put the string in, or you create the string by leaving gaps in your watercolour wash. Kind of like tie-dye. I really like this, and then you can use it like with stamps, or you could wash on a square with a stamp, or just with some watercolours and then Tangela onto that, which I think is quite cool. Or I always call it Tangela. Is it Zentangle? I don't get why that. I don't get what's going on in my head. It's Tangles. Whatever. Tangela sounds better. It sounds like spaghetti. I'm going to eat some Tangela, or Zentangle. It sounds like some weird spaghetti. Like, no, I can't think of any spaghetti, because I can't say it. Anyway, moving on. And then you've got some that you can embellish yourself with and add colour. And that's basically it on this, because I wanted to get this booklet. I didn't want to get the letter one, because this is them using rubber stamps. And you can do it with jewellery and paper craft and paper tissue and all sorts of things. So they've added buttons onto those ones. But I think Zentangle, there we go. Zentangle does look striking when it is just black and white. And I think you've got to be really careful when adding, because the colour adds a whole new element to it, but it also takes away from the pure basicness of it. Because if you imagine that completely black, it actually has a beauty of all of its own. And then you add colour and it kind of goes... And this is a great way of adding colour. So you cut out the bird shape, but you Tangela around it. So you draw an outline of the bird and then you Tangela around it. And it's a great way of doing colour. And that's really simple and effective, I think. Because once again, too much colour, you can end up ruining these things. Because I might have left a couple of these blank. But then people will be like, there's no colour there. So you could just do a very simple wash like that, but not as strong as that, more sort of like this, more pale. Anyway, I also got this Tangle Art book, purely because I wanted to get, hey, I'm never going to turn down a new pencil or a new pen, well, a new pencil or a sharpener. But in this set you get an 01 pigment pen and an 005 pen as well. But you also get these, which are thick cards to tangle on, and you get 20 of those. They're actually quite thick, and I think they would withstand watercolours. But if you did add watercolour to them, you've got to make sure that your watercolour is pale and watery, because otherwise it would be too strong, and it would your pen wouldn't be able to show up. But also you must make sure that it's dry, thoroughly dry, before adding, because I suspect that the pens might run on watercolour. So it's sort of like, do the wash first, the background wash, leave it, then add pen. But you get this book, and it is a basic book, and you'll probably think, but don't you have a basic book, Annabella? Yeah, I do, but this one's quite good because it's got more explanation in it. It talks about supplies and shading, getting started with the strings, getting acquainted with your tools, patterns, all sorts of different types of strings that you can do. You don't have to stick to those. You can do whatever you like, really. I mean, it's your design. But this also gives me more things to tangle about. But see, they've started to add some colour there with them. I have completed a final piece with that, but I'm going to show that in another review once I've done some more. But this also has like a sketchbook at the back, so you could practice in before you use those lovely tiles that come with this kit. I got this kit because it contains everything you need to do, and it was under £20, which I thought was reasonable off Amazon. And I got the 3 workbooks purely because the workbooks just allow you to practice, and it doesn't matter if you go wrong, and it's not, you know, a final piece. It is just practice, and it builds on the technique, builds on the techniques that you can do. I really, really like this because you add colour, but it's simple and it's effective. Because you look how striking he is shaded. So they've drawn on the lines, they've tangled him, they've then add their pencil shading, and then they've put colour on, and that's effective. Any more colour would ruin that, though some blue might be nice, like on perhaps there. But then again, they've shaded that, so why take away from the pencil shading? So that's that, and I'll show you the back of this, because I think it's a good kit to get. Includes archival pens, paper towels, and beautiful instruction book to get you started. And it's also magnetic. And I like magnets. And it says featuring a 40-page book with instruction ideas and blank sketchbook as part of it. So you get loads of practice. It says here UK £12.99, 13 and older, not intended for use by children. Learn how to do simple repetitive lines, marks, circles, shapes can combine to create beautiful detailed drawings. This Zen style drawing helps relax your mind as you focus on meditative act of moving your pen across the page in free form style. Except it's not free form because they tell you exactly how to do it. See, it's one of those things, oh, you can do it however you like. No, this is how we do Tangle. You are doing the blades pattern and this is how it must be. Yeah. Free flowing. Let's have a look. 33-page book with instructions and ideas, plus 7 blank sketchbook pages in the back of the book for practicing your drawing, and 23.5 times 3.5, which is 8.9 times 8.9 centimetre blank drawing tiles, an 01 pen, an 005 pen, a pencil, and a sharpener because you have to do the shading. But why shade when you can colour? But then apples and oranges. So the learning to do this actually teaches you how to make these. Pretty much. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed this review. It's the first time that I've actually done two together rather than a weekly one. Next week I am going to go back to my weekly format. It's just because I wanted to do a thorough look at all the different adult colouring magazines that you can get, because there's been an absolute explosion in the market for them. But I do recommend that if you really are into this, you get into Tangle Art, because then you can make your own works of art that you could colour in afterwards. So you'd be both creating your own designs and then becoming a colourist, because becoming a colourist is now a thing, which is kind of cool. So you've got people that design the patterns and then you've got colourists that colour them in, which is also good. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Check out these things because they're kind of cool, but don't like spend a fortune. So, bye. This is the end of the review. Hope you've liked it. Bye-bye.